Hello learners, welcome to Swayam portal. This is module number 28, week 7 of the course on ICT in teacher education. I am Faisal Alam, assistant professor in the Department of Computer Engineering, Aligarh Muslim University. In this module, we are going to discuss about the basic concepts of Java applets and its educational uses. The objective of this discussion is to introduce Java applets as a tool for educational purpose. After completing this module, you will be able to appreciate the importance of dynamic content rendered through Java applet in the realm of education. The brief outline of this course is something like this. We'll start with the basic concept of Java applet, its advantage, a brief overview of what is a programming language, Java, a sample applet code, and basically the most important part is some drawbacks of why this particular technology that we are talking about is actually not very useful. So let's see how it goes. So what is a Java applet? Java applet is a computer program that can render visual dynamic content on a web browser. What it means is that you must have seen some websites that have static content that does not change, often like the university websites. This technology creates the kind of web pages that will display graphic content that changes with the kind of input provided by the user instantaneously. For example, you must have seen a car racing game that changes its behavior instantaneously given the user inputs. What kind of inputs? Let's say somebody wants to move left, he presses the left key, and instantaneously you see the car moving towards the left. When you want to go right, you press the right key and you see the car moving towards the right. This is the kind of user behavior that you would want to have an educator with something that is being learned, an active kind of learning, and this is something that is provided by Java applet. Having understood the basic concept of Java applet, basically what is a Java applet, let's try to understand why we need to use that Java applet in the realm of education. The lecture delivered in the class, the normal lecture that we see in the class, makes the student a passive recipient of the knowledge shared by the instructor. This causes a reduction in the level of activity by the students, thereby making them to lose focus over time. Java applet solves this problem by making them active learners, by making them interact with the content. This causes them to be more active and makes learning more delightful. Let me give you an example. For example, in chemistry, one can create an applet that simulates a chemical reaction and displays the visual change the product undergoes at different temperatures. In a normal lecture, how would you do it? You will have different photos for different kind of temperatures and different behaviors that you see in a normal lecture the way it is given in the book. Or somebody who is giving the lecture, he will be able to tell that at this particular temperature, this is the product that is formed and these are its physical and chemical properties. But when an applet is created, what a user can do is he can interact with the web page, where if he enters a temperature, he would instantly get the physical and chemical properties of the product that is being created at that particular temperature. So what he can do is, given different temperatures, he can experiment on what is actually produced at what different temperature. Another point is that it lets you show videos and audio contents as well, which could be incorporated for better understanding of the content, which is sometimes not very obvious, and the contents which are not very obvious and not very understandable when you are actually giving the lecture. They can be recorded from various sceneries, from environments, and that can be shown when it is rendered in multimedia. You will be able to understand the concept better. The students will be able to understand the concept better. Another advantage of this is that it bridges the gap in between theory and practical. A theory course is always bolstered with the practical concept, but sometimes due to time gap or inadequate lab facility, the practical is either not undertaken or done with a skewed understanding of the topic. Java applet solves this problem by making them learn the concepts by seeing what would happen practically at the time of learning the theoretical concept itself, thus reducing the time gap between theory and practical. Applet can also be deployed over the internet. This would help make the practical results be available online, making it easy for students that do not have access to well-equipped lab facilities, also introduced with the practical concept. It may be accessed both over PCs or handheld devices. Another important thing is Java is free and can be downloaded over the internet, and browsers are all the more free and readily available, as all of you might be knowing it. This makes it a good choice for education at low cost. There are certain other advantages of Java. The traditional class is held at a certain time. Also, if a traditional lecture is missed, one can never revisit a lecture. If an applet is deployed over a web server, it can be accessed via internet. Students can go through the content whenever they want and any number of times they want to access it. Moreover, the traditional lecture can accommodate only limited number of students. A Java applet, on the other hand, can be accessed by practically any number of users. One can use applets for outreach programs and educating masses on a certain kind of topics. Such technologies can be extensively used in developing countries where there is inadequate lab facility. Java applet may also be used for assessment. The instructor may create an applet that displays a set of objective questions. User would be asked to input his answer and the applet would perform and display to the user the response of the invigilator as to what his results were then and there instantaneously. So these were some of the advantages. So now we have understood the basic concepts of Java applet, and also we have seen how this particular thing is advantageous in the realm of education. Now let's get into a detail of what are the technical details of Java applet. Before getting into the Java applet, let's understand what is a programming language. A programming language is a language to instruct a computer to perform specific tasks. It contains English-like words and has very strict rules and syntax. A programmer writes a program in this language. This program needs to be converted to binary language, a language that computer understands with the help of a software called compiler. This binary program can be executed on the machine to complete your tasks. All the software that you know, like MS Office, media players, browsers, etc., are written in these languages. Now, what is Java? Java is a programming language. It runs on a software called Java Virtual Machine. To run Java, you must first install Java Virtual Machine, or JVM in short, on your PCs. It is available in two versions: JDK, that is Java Development Kit, or JRE, Java Runtime Environment. They can be freely downloaded from the official website of Oracle, www.oracle.com. Now, having known the basic concept of programming language and basic concept of Java, how to create a Java applet? To create a Java applet, you need to first learn Java programming. Only then you can make applets. You need to take a different course to learn Java. It will not be taught in this course here. What we are trying to tell you is that such a thing, if learned, could be beneficial for educators and learners. There are many good books and online study material available for Java. You may take any one of them and learn Java and learn how to create applets from them. Well, a typical Java applet code looks something like this. The applet just creates a rectangle on the screen. We are not teaching you to write or understand this code here, but it is just to give you some idea of how the code looks. Having had the basic understanding of what is a programming language, Java, and Java applet, you can basically create the contents that will be used by a lot many users than you can teach in a class. But there are certain drawbacks that you have with this technology. The biggest drawback of this technology is that Java applet, as of today, is already obsolete and old now. So the latest versions of Java and many latest browsers have stopped supporting it, but thankfully there are many parallel technologies that will do the same task even without needing to have Java installed on the client systems. These technologies are JavaScript, HTML5, and Flash. You may adopt them and get the same result that you get using applets. Now, why did we speak about Java applets and not these technologies? One thing is that if you have a basic understanding of how to basically write programming and what are these contents, for example, the dynamic content that we are talking about, these dynamic contents, once you understand how to write them, you can use any technology and basically interoperate in between them. So this was something a little bit about Java applets. Thank you for patient listening. Thank you.